Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a viewer request topic and looking into what your guides want you to know about their actions or inaction in the 3D. So thank you to the subscriber who recommended this topic. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Lemonade Calcite. Group 2 is the Blue Calcite. And group 3 is the green calcite. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you would like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Lemonade Calcite. So I'm going to start by taking a look at what's going on with this person in the 3D. Their actions, maybe their inactions towards you at this point in time. Okay, so we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, the Star, which is Aquarius, Four of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, Page of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, Swan, Clouds, Stork, and Scythe. So with Clouds and the Page of Swords, this indicates to me that this person is most likely just watching from a distance, keeping themselves a little bit separated as well, with these two swans in this card, you know, one in kind of the foreground and one in the background, that this person is resisting coming forward with some sort of truth. There might be a little bit of emotional distance that is happening, or distance in a literal sense of this being a no contact or a separation kind of situation. But there is this energy of observation, kind of this also in the Lovers here, where he's looking over at her and she's sort of looking up at the angel, looking up at the divine. That there's a lack of really seeing eye to eye. That although there's not necessarily any movement, any concrete declaration of love or intention of what to do moving forward, some kind of an apology that might be owed, it's something that is kind of removed. This is somebody who is, you know, maybe thinking about this, thinking about things that happened in the past, ruminating on that, you know, desiring a fresh start, or understanding that something needs to change, something needs to give in this situation, but they're not seizing that opportunity. You might have, you know, really presented yourself to them in an energy, or maybe even conveyed to them that you would be open and willing to talk about things. You're there for them if they ever need you. The door is open if they want to reach out. You may have been kind of posting things maybe on social media that are, you know, giving this person the sign, the green light that you're open and you're receptive to them. And there's a sense of them observing that, taking note of that, but taking no action forward, remaining at a distance, remaining in this energy of just kind of watching, observing, you know, maybe kind of lingering or lurking in the background. With this idea of stork, this can talk about a reconciliation, an apology, some kind of a new beginning that, you know, is wanting to be birthed, that perhaps the two of you have had conversations about in the past. This person, you know, saying that they see you as somebody that they could build a long-term future with, that they really hold you with the star in high regard over all others, that they feel very strongly for you, but there's no follow through in that capacity. It's just words with not a lot of action, or not a lot of, again, kind of follow through with that. With the side, there may be things that are needing to kind of come to a close, some things in their life that they are needing to kind of cut out of the equation. This can also really talk about, you know, this energy of endings, and now at this place that you find yourselves, where things have really, the communication has come to an end. You find yourselves at an impasse. This person, again, really withholding a lot emotionally, withholding communication, and just kind of content to watch from afar. A little bit of hesitation on their part to, you know, maybe have with the Lovers. This can really talk about an element of choice, choosing between, you know, kind of this higher level love, or something that might, you know, kind of fulfill them on a 3D sense, like a karmic connection, and this hesitation that this person is really displaying to you at this point in time to cut away from that karmic connection, to end some kind of a cycle or something that's been going on, a pattern in their life, or a pattern in dealing with you. And it feels like just a very simple step that needs to be taken. Just somebody who's kind of right at that precipice, but is not taking that action step forward. They're not turning to see that what they've been focusing on, the way that they've been going about things, it's been leading to, you know, kind of this element of mediocrity, or, you know, almost this this lack of taking the next step that is, something that would bring the two of you a lot of fulfillment. It's something they may have, alluded to in the past, that they were done with this other connection. They were done with this other person. They wanted to change something. They see you again as this forever person, kind of this idea of soulmates or even twin flames with the swans here. That transformation is very necessary, that a rebirth is necessary. But, kind of a lack of following through with actions that kind of match up with the words. This energy of the star, this can talk about hope as well, which kind of comes after the destruction of the tower, after kind of this darkness. So something that has really fallen apart between the both of you. But this person just not, again, taking those necessary steps, or kind of that leap of faith, or that, kind of moving beyond whatever difficulties that you have faced together. Maybe they have cleared some things out. They've cut away on some other kind of partnerships. They've disconnected from kind of some toxic behaviors or cycles in other ways in their life, but they are just kind of lingering in that liminal space of not really taking any action to generate any sort of change in this circumstance, which could be leading to a lot of frustration in your part. The potential that you see there, the transformation that you've already experienced within yourself, that you see is really possible for this person as well. Kind of the open door that has happened to this almost next level love, and the frustration that you might be feeling as well of this person just not moving out of this realm of kind of this airy energy, this contemplative energy. That it would just be so simple to have that conversation, to make that declaration, to follow through on conversations that you've had with kind of this consistency or some kind of action in a 3D sense. And so kind of what's going on right now, again, somebody who's just really lingering, really hesitating, focusing maybe on the past too much, on what has happened between you. Somebody who's not really, again, taking that step forward to turn the page in this situation, as much as energetically you might be getting all of these kind of signs and these inclinations that they've really directed their focus towards you. Again, maybe a lot of subliminal energy that is happening here, a lot of suggestion, but nothing in a very direct manner. It's all just kind of left up to speculation at this point in time, and sort of that confusion, the element of choice then you are faced with, to continue to kind of wait, hold space for this person to sort of transmute out of this energy, or this decision that you're then faced with to perhaps set your sights on something else, somebody who can be a little more emotionally available to you, somebody who's going to show up for you in a more concrete and consistent fashion than what this person is doing. A lot of mixed signals that they might be giving you as well. Kind of, again, watching you from afar, maybe even in a way that you are directly aware of. You're aware that they are watching you on social media. They have made that known. They have made that clear, but they're just not taking any steps to kind of move out of that energy of observation. So now I'm going to take a look and see, what do your guides want you to know about the situation with this person, kind of this hesitation, this lingering in this mental space, in this energetic space. What's kind of the advice about that? What should you know about this? Okay, and we have Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. So this really ties into an idea of kind of the law of attraction, that if you are continuing to focus on what is not working in this situation, you're feeding more energy into kind of this disappointment. And, it's very reasonable to feel the feelings of that frustration, feel those feelings of confusion, of, again, disappointment, that what is being felt energetically, what you are sensing from this person at a higher self level, kind of the hints or the suggestions, or even just, knowing that they are kind of lingering around, that they are kind of watching, that it would take just a very easy, simple step, just that first step forward, that they're kind of resisting doing that. This is somebody who's kind of just lingering at that threshold and not moving forward, not cutting away from a previous sort of interaction that you've had or a way that they've been showing up. Somebody who's, maybe even not just taking that very necessary step of kind of unblocking the communication, speaking some kind of truth that lingers very heavily between the both of you, that has been hinted at, that has been suggested at, but there's been no kind of concrete action about what to do with this moving forward. That your guidance, as far as that is concerned, is to, focus on the outcome that you would like to experience in this situation. And everybody has the free will choice to take action or to, continue to kind of remain in that sort of liminal space, that almost fear-based hesitation. There's something very necessary about this period of observation for this person as well. This feels like when and if they make that decision to kind of change their action, to deliver some kind of truth, to have some kind of conversation with you, this is something that in a major way helps to kind of move this connection up to the next level. And the fear that they are facing, this time that they are needing to really just digest and to really just linger in this energy, despite all the things that are kind of compelling them to move forward, that this is very necessary for this person to, come to that truth in their own time and in their own way. It's a process that cannot be rushed. It's something that if this person, as long as you might have been waiting, as frustrating as this might be, as much as they might be beating around the bush and just not coming forward with some kind of truth, this is a very necessary period of transmutation for them. There's a lot happening in the kind of mental space with this person. They're needing to move through these blocks of fears. If they come forward too quickly, this is something which, it could be almost that they're getting ahead of themselves. There's a sense here that there's the potential in this situation for, a very kind of solid partnership between the both of you, something that's very next level. This connection, these circumstances, even this frustration, it has all the makings of something that can, transform the two of you on a deep emotional level, transform your experiences of love and partnership. But it's something that really requires kind of this internal transformation first and foremost. So really trusting your intuition, trusting your guidance, trusting the signs that you are getting, to not just actively hold space for this person, to put your life on hold. When you do that, you just you feed into that energy of stagnancy. Your guidance with this is to really, search within and see what are some other changes that you can make in your life. What are some things that need to be cut away, maybe even in terms of your perspective about this situation. Any kind of outcomes that you are really tied to, anything that you are really, again, kind of putting your life on hold about, searching within and seeing, is this serving your highest good? Could your energies and efforts be applied differently to something else that is going to, yield something for you, is going to bear fruit? All of this energy that you've been investing in this, again, really doing a lot of this, trying to do a lot of this work for this person, trying to move into the space of kind of this unconditional love, this openness, this, this sympathy for what they're going through, empathy, kind of feeling beyond what is being displayed. It's time for you to kind of reinvest that within yourself. Have more compassion for yourself. Understand that kind of the winds of change are here, and it's your sort of duty or your opportunity to make those changes within yourself, to take this situation and frustration and see what wisdom can be gleaned from this. Any kind of dissatisfaction that you are experiencing with this. What are some other kind of areas of your life that you could be investing in more? What are some things that you could, apply all this kind of psychic energy to, this mental energy to again, this concept of kind of manifestation or the law of attraction, that you are seeing success with already, or that maybe you've neglected at the expense of kind of what's been going on emotionally with this person and in the mental space. You're really kind of guided at this point in time to sort of tend your own garden. Leave this person to kind of linger in their thoughts, that it's a transformation that is needing to take place. It's something that you're feeling energetically. There might be signs and kind of indications of that. But the more you kind of remain as this fixed point for them, kind of the less inclined they are to take any sort of action. It's almost like there's no motivation for them to kind of move beyond this energy of being that observer, being that watcher, that your guidance is to kind of move forward in other ways. For some of you, that might be disconnecting from this connection for now, or, you know, opening your mind to the possibility of forever, you know, thanking this person for the experiences that you've had together and setting your sights on other horizons, you know, other opportunities of love in the future, or some healing that needs to take place with you. Movement needs to happen on your part in order to really send that ripple effect out to this person, both that it is safe to create movement in this circumstance, and also as you become almost that fleeting point on the horizon, it can motivate them energetically to make some changes, to take some kind of action, to move out of this observer stance and kind of translate that into something solid, something concrete, something that helps to kind of metamorphosize and shift and change the dynamic that you have experienced previously with one another. Okay, and we also have the Siren. A temptation may lead you astray. So there, again, are a lot of things in this person's life that they are sort of resisting cutting away from. This could be, you know, other circumstances that have kind of passed their expiration point, and this person is really just kind of hesitating on closing these cycles out. And so this can be something which, you know, the temptation to kind of, again, hold that space, to actively wait, to continue to invest all your psychic and emotional energy in almost willing these situations to fall apart, you know, putting a lot of emphasis on this person, you know, what you think is best for them, what you know needs to happen. And as kind of valid as that might be, as much as kind of from the observer stance, you are then able to recognize some toxicity that is going on in their life that they are continuing to kind of participate in, or even if they've cut away from, that there's no, it's just kind of this void space that they are operating in. They've taken no sort of action towards you, that the temptation can be there to, you know, just continue to remain in this kind of rigid stance, to almost stagnate, because you can sense that energy of change. You can sense that energy of movement, little suggestions that they've given to you, but nothing that is concrete. With all this air energy, it's nothing that you can hold on to. It's nothing of substance. It's nothing tangible. In terms of an apology that you might be waiting for. This is really guidance as well to, you know, seek to cultivate forgiveness and healing within yourself without really making that dependent on what this person does or what they choose not to do. That you are also at this sort of threshold where healing is possible for you. With this idea of a siren, there's something that you're being called to do. Your heart is calling you in a particular direction. You are seeing signs, maybe signs to, again, detach from this situation for now, to move forward anyway, and to kind of leave this person in this mental energy. That it's very, change needs to happen, and it's very necessary that they take action steps. You have done all you can in this circumstance in terms of sending them that loving energy, holding them in a loving space, you know, really allowing them to kind of process these things and to work through these things. And you're now at the point where you are needing to make some change for yourself. There's other things you might have been neglecting at the expense of this connection, or other areas that you are being really called to invest in, some beautiful things that want to grow and develop for you in your life in other ways, that could really use the energetic boost of sort of the vibration of what you've been investing in this connection, the time and the energy and the focus, that you're really being called to kind of redirect that. Turn your gaze elsewhere. Turn your gaze inward toward things that you want to experience and cultivate for yourself. There's a very powerful energy here as well with this kind of idea of this twin flame dynamic, and, you know, really sort of shifting your focus beyond you know, holding space for that 3D union. It's okay to have that desire for that in your heart, but you're really being called to kind of release that, to surrender that to divine timing, allow that to develop as organically as it can, but also to recognize and honor the bond that you share with this person. This is a very powerful dynamic that you have. The energy exchange that you have, all the kind of signs that you're getting from them, everything that you have experienced with them up to this point. This is a very powerful force, and it's something which can be utilized. You can use that as an inspiration, as fuel to kind of imbue some other things that you want to cultivate in your life. With this idea of manifestation, the energies are very ripe for manifestation, and it's really a matter of what are you choosing to focus on, and that this is going to yield in kind of the season ahead, the months ahead, and the time ahead. This is going to yield results for you in a very powerful way if you continue to focus on what is lacking in this situation, on the frustration of this person not being more direct in their communication, just kind of lingering in the sidelines, lingering in this kind of this in-between energy. Then there's going to be more of that is generated. If you instead kind of harness this energy, harness this bond, this combined force of the two of you, this kind of entwined energy of your souls, and you really apply that towards something else that you want to develop, you really have this potential at this point in time to to really germinate some very powerful seeds that exist within you, maybe that have been dormant. Again, some kind of call that you are receiving. Some other areas of your life that really need your time, they need your attention, they need your investment. They will be benefited by this. Perhaps this circumstance as well, this frustration, is calling you to really pursue something of a creative nature in some way, to get these energies kind of moving within this connection and within yourself by sort of processing these things, purging these things, transmuting these things in a different way than you have been, removing yourself from the situation, removing your attention and your focus upon this situation, and instead allowing that very powerful dynamic, that almost kind of like laser precision with which you are connected with this person, utilizing that to kind of foster and fuel some other things which you would like to see grow in your life. And we've got the angel of discernment. Through grace of the divine, I am able to know the right path. So this really ties into that idea of intuition and kind of the call that you are receiving. For some of you, you might have been getting a lot of signs, confirmations. This reading could be one of them, that it's time to detach from kind of a fixation on outcomes in this situation, or that, again, this idea of the winds of change. Change is necessary in this circumstance. And if this person is at a place where there's not a lot of movement, there's not a lot of action, there's just kind of this watching and waiting energy that you're experiencing, then this might be the time for you to take that action step, for you to take the matters into your own hands, to redirect your focus. And when you do that, it does send a ripple effect out that is experienced by this person, that can really get some momentum happening. It can, kind of motivate them even just energetically to start to face some things they've been avoiding, to really kind of search their soul on a deep level, to become very clear about kind of where they are, what they have participated in, almost feeling kind of the absence and the distance that is developing, the chasm that then develops between the both of you. Which you've been able to sense at different times as their focus has been somewhere other than this connection. And you can reverse that when you sort of direct your attentions elsewhere. Necessarily and kind of correspondingly, they are going to feel that as well. And so, not redirecting your focus with the intention of creating some kind of a response in them, because that's just really tied to expectations, that's tied to outcome. But really using your discernment and to see, what is this yielding? What are you really getting out of this situation? Is this a time to kind of just put this down for now, to again redirect your focus on some other things you want to experience, that you want to birth, that you want to grow in your life, some some other things you might have been neglecting, or, new projects or endeavors that you're being called to begin, or that you've started to begin, that could really use this extra boost of energy. Something that you are even collaborating with in conjunction with this person on a 5D level, that you might have up to this point felt was really contingent on their 3D participation. And this could have kept something from getting off the ground. It could have kept you in this energy of waiting. And the guidance is to really, begin that process on your own, start that mission, align with that purpose. Take those action steps. Understand that you and this person are connected at that 5D level. It doesn't require their participation in a 3D sense. Do what you can with what you have available to you. Understand that this is a very powerful soul connection that you share with this person, and that you can continue to kind of inspire and motivate each other remotely. If this has been a situation of a long-standing kind of no contact and you've been waiting for this person to reach out, you've been getting the indications, all the tarot readings are telling you they're coming, they're reaching out, communication, and you're still not seeing anything, then again, this might be the time to use that discernment to kind of distance yourself from that energy for a period of time, to redirect your focus on something else, to not wait for that apology, but instead cultivate kind of that energy of forgiving, this person within yourself, not for them, but for you, to detach from that expectation, to detach from any of that heaviness, that frustration, that disappointment, feeling these feelings and making that decision, finding yourself at that crossroads. Do you want to create more of that? Are you going to continue on another kind of round of this cycle? Which if you do, that's fine. The opportunity will keep presenting itself in different ways and at different times. The universe will continue to check in with you to see, does this still feel good? Does this still feel right? Is this still filling your life with a sense of abundance? Are you getting something out of this, or is this taking away more than it is contributing? And so for some of you, this can be that time to just kind of close the door to this person for now, or to even kind of just move forward with the idea of, progressing in your life. And if they meet you further down the road, if they do the work, if they catch up with you, then you'll kind of entertain that at the time that it presents itself. You'll take these factors into account. You will have changed. They will have changed. So, it's something where you can't necessarily plan that long-term outcome, but it's something that just needs to be sort of open to kind of seeing where things stand, if and when they come back around. And a new path is definitely has the potential to open up for you in other ways. Again, choices that you will make at this point in time to redirect your focus have a very powerful energetic ripple onto this person. It can be the ingredient that is very necessary to create the change that you are wanting in this circumstance. And best case scenario, you create change for yourself. Aside from this connection, aside from how much you might want this person, how much, this feels like your forever person. Part of the journey with this person is, making that investment in self, coming to that understanding that you are your forever person. This is about you first and foremost. So again, kind of redirecting that focus, all of that psychic energy, all of that love that you've been pouring out, the space that you've been holding space for yourself, investing in yourself, pouring into your own cup, pouring into things which bring you a sense of abundance, aligning with some kind of a higher calling, something to do with your life path that you have really been called toward, compelled toward, that you're getting signs about. That as things stand right now, it almost feels that you might be kind of depriving something else of just this influx of energy, that to redirect your focus from this connection, it would infuse some other area of your life with just the type of energy that needs to blossom and grow. That can be something to do with career. That can be something to do with your own health and wellness, your own healing. That can even, for some of you, talk about new love. If you are kind of at the place of wanting to close this door for good on this connection, that there's something where your focus, even the way that you are kind of thinking about this, maybe even affirmations that you need to start telling yourself, kind of reprogramming the self-talk that occurs within. You might have found yourself at some kind of almost an unconscious sort of block or an impasse where you're still holding on to these kind of old narratives. You're still holding this person very much in the attachment of a label that you consider them your forever person, your twin flame, your soulmate, and that's kind of keeping you anchored to this very sort of fixed point based on, you know, things that you have come to learn about twin flames, your ideas about that, your definitions of that in some way you're maybe being called to release these labels, that attention, that goal, or what you have come to this point to feel the purpose of that kind of a dynamic is, to kind of redirect that focus upon yourself, on what can be learned from this situation. What are the ways that this situation has helped to really shift your path in life? What new doors of opportunity are opened because of this connection and through almost the difficulties that you faced, the frustrations that you faced? How can this connection make you more discerning, make you stronger, make you more loving, as opposed to kind of shut down and stagnant and holding space for somebody who, you know, is just not in a, they may have made changes or they may be hesitating about that, but they're just not at a state of being able to take that action step forward. All of this kind of watery sort of emotional energy and this air energy, it's, you know, there's a lot of unspoken things, a lot of conversations that need to be had, a lot of feelings that run very deep and are experienced very viscerally in an energetic sense, but there's no kind of pentacles energy here. There's no earth energy. There's no action energy in a material sense, and so the time is to really, you know, make that choice to continue to invest kind of in that that sort of energetic space of, you know, kind of waiting, or to make that choice to invest in yourself on what you can kind of produce that is something of value and something of worth in the material sense. Investing in yourself first and foremost is kind of the greatest project that you will work on. Okay, and we also have Tai Chi rising. So for some of you, in terms of maybe some practices that can really help you to kind of move through some of this stuck energy, to kind of redirect your focus, Tai Chi can be a very beautiful kind of practice that helps us get in touch with our energetic body. It can help us to almost move through some unconscious blocks and barriers that we have had. It gets our chi flowing. It infuses us with this life force energy. It can invigorate us. If you've been feeling very stuck and very stagnant, that can be a practice. It's very gentle. It's very rhythmic. It's almost, if you're not familiar with Tai Chi, imagine almost the limbs of trees, the tree branches kind of swaying in a gentle breeze. That is the movement of Tai Chi. It is very gentle. Even for people that, you know, are not very physically fit, Tai Chi is something, it's a good way to kind of get your body moving. It's a good way to, again, get that energy moving. So for a lot of you, you might find some benefit in this. This can really help you to, again, get in touch with that energetic body. Meditation can be very helpful. Yoga can be very helpful for you at this time. Just in some way, again, kind of pulling your focus off of this situation, off of what is happening with this person, off of this kind of maybe even fixation on what is happening energetically and kind of the discrepancy between what is shown in the 3D sense, what you're feeling and what is being demonstrated to you. Redirecting that focus onto self, onto kind of sensing imbalances within your own energy, working with your own energy to create this flow. And by doing that, you can create that kind of that opening of the floodgates. You can participate with those winds of change, sort of moving forward in your life into other directions, seeing, you know, what else is out there. Maybe it's in terms of love. Maybe it's in terms of other opportunities in your life, other things that are wanting to grow, that are wanting to be infused by the energy that you exchange with this person, that you've experienced with this person. Even an essence of kind of transmuting the frustration. Tai Chi can be very helpful with that as well, just in very kind of subtle ways. Again, touching into that energy body, engaging in that process of transmuting what is almost a static kinetic energy into something that is fluid, that is moving. You're touching on that. And when you do that, it can help almost reprogram your subconscious, energetically as well, to kind of get you in that mindset of momentum, of movement, of flow, of progressing forward. If this person is not taking the next steps, you take the next steps then. You be the one to kind of redirect that focus, to make changes in other areas of your life. And that again can send out a ripple to this person. What they have really perceived or see or recognize as a fixed sort of stance that you are holding, when you then move forward, when you branch out, when you spread your wings and you take flight, it creates that motivation for them. They find themselves kind of in that holding pattern all alone. They can make the changes that are necessary within their life to move towards you, to do something in a material sense with all of these kind of unspoken words and these feelings between the both of you, or they can make that choice to kind of remain in that energy of just thinking and wishing, that energy of regret, that energy of focusing on loss or remaining in toxicity. Everybody has the choice to, move or to remain very stuck and stagnant. But the important thing, what your guides want you to know, is that this is the time for you to really take that action, to take that assertive approach. You are to be the one to sort of shift this energy within this situation for yourself first and foremost, which can then really help to create the ability or the roadmap, or kind of open that perspective for this person about change and kind of what is necessary. It can almost, be sort of that action on your part, even just that energetic action of, again, kind of taking your power back, redirecting your focus, that creates this kind of chain reaction in them, where they feel this kind of sense of urgency. They feel the absence of you, the absence of that focus, and it really motivates them to get very serious about this, to introspect, to come up with a plan, and to take action steps forward. The further and further on the horizon that you move toward other things, toward other people, that this can have a very tangible result in this situation. But ultimately, kind of where you're finding yourself at with what is going on in the 3D with this person, this is an invitation, this is a doorway, something you're really being called to, look deeply within, to introspect, to search your soul. What else do you want to experience in life? Is it just more of the same of this? Or is this really, is this the opportunity for you to create movement? Are you ready to create that change for yourself in other ways, and to put this connection on hold, or to, you to be the one to kind of leave this behind? If this is somebody who had, kind of made you sort of feel that that this was unrequited, or you were kind of just left doing all the work, holding all the knowing, holding out the hope for this person's return, to invest that within yourself, to bring yourself out of this kind of stagnancy, this darkness, and to move toward the light within you, and creating light in other ways in your life. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 1, this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got L, F, H, Y, V, Z, O, R, P, S, U, and E. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry, dreamcatchers, and suncatchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the blue calcite. So I'm going to start by taking a look at kind of what's going on in the 3D with this person, their actions or their inactions. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Ten of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. King of Swords, so more air energy. Two of Cups, more water energy. Horse, birds, letter, and stork. So with the Ten of Swords and the King of Swords, this is really talking about somebody who might have been very cutting with their words, somebody who is coming across as very closed off, somebody who's not speaking the truth of their emotions, somebody who might be very brief with you, very brisk with you if you have communication with them up to this, at this point. If this is a full no contact situation with this person, it might have ended very abruptly, or in terms of, some kind of a fight, something that they said that was just, it was very cutting, the words that they used. There was not a lot of compassion in that. It could have been something which, cut to the bone, basically, in terms of what they said. Maybe a little bit callous as well. Somebody who is, just kind of operating as well in a very kind of ego mind in a logical space, somebody who is just focused on kind of the practicalities or the impracticality of the circumstances between the both of you. An apology may be owed. This could be something that you have been waiting for. You may have even kind of reached out with a gesture to this person with that Knight of Cups, kind of offering that olive branch to them, and you were met with this very kind of abrupt energy, this very brisk energy, this very, just kind of rejected, not a lot of reciprocity there. And this can really talk about, with the Two of Cups, kind of this harmony that you once shared, this idea as well with Stork of kind of wanting this rebirth, wanting to come into this stance of union, but being really confronted with somebody, with the Horse, who is kind of emotionally avoidant. This is somebody who is, with the birds, they are not speaking the truth of what is in their heart. There's a lot that's being held back on. With the letter, this can talk about even communications that you have sent to them that have gone unresponded to, unread conversations, or some kind of a declaration that you made to them that was faced, you were faced with rejection, you were denied. They declined your offer to work things out. Somebody who could have denied having feelings for you. And this just being also kind of a frustration. This could potentially be somebody who chose to move in another direction in terms of partnerships, who has chosen to kind of invest in emotional connections elsewhere. elsewhere, who might have told you at one point in time that they weren't looking for commitment. They weren't ready for that. They didn't feel the same way about you. They didn't want to settle down. They wanted to be free. They wanted to be able to, just kind of sow their oats or see what the world had to offer for them. They weren't ready for commitment. And that what has then kind of transpired is that they have linked up with somebody else. They have created some kind of a beginning or a partnership, maybe even kind of have gone back to a former partner. And that really leaving you with a sense of confusion and a sense of defeat. Kind of this person, this distance between the head and the heart. There being a lot of defeat in that sense, in what you had really thought could have happened between the both of you, or the way that things were really going, only to find out that, the rug was really pulled out from under you, and sort of a declaration that they weren't looking for anything, then investing with somebody else. And the ways in which you've been able to see that, or what was told to you, what you came to discover about these things, and how that has just that has really set your emotions kind of running wild. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of frustration, a lot of sorrow with that as well. This huge sense of defeat, of not really knowing how to come back from that. And also with this swords energy in the letter, this can talk about a lot of telepathy that still occurs between the both of you, and a sense that what is being demonstrated in the 3D sense in terms of maybe who they are investing with, or if this is somebody who had just said that they wanted to remain single, they weren't, interested in a partnership, that there's still this very tangible energetic connection between the both of you that is creating a lot of confusion for you. You're not really certain how to detach yourself from this situation. You're not certain why, you keep feeling this person energetically around you. There's a bit of uncertainty, kind of this, their energy not matching up with what is being displayed to you in a material sense. And this just leaving a lot of confusion for you, where to go from here. Is it even possible to rebuild? Kind of what's the purpose of this? Why are they saying one thing, but then what you are sensing energetically, what is felt, what is experienced at kind of those higher levels, why is that so very different from what has been kind of displayed or projected or proclaimed in a material sense? This can also really talk about communication that is going on between the both of you. And this can also be the energy of kind of a reconciliation, somebody who has reached out to you after kind of a painful ending between the both of you, that you have kind of heard from this person again. Those lines of communication have opened up in some capacity. Things might be starting off very slowly, starting off kind of small with this person with the Two of Cups. And it's leading you to be a little bit guarded, being a little bit skeptical about kind of what are their motivations, why have they sort of come back around, a sense of excitement, a sense of not wanting to get in too deep with this person too quickly because you're uncertain about where it will lead. Memories that are lingering about kind of the painful ending that you experienced in the past. And this almost being something that is not directly talked about. This is being kind of suggested at, hinted at, or just kind of avoided altogether, which could really be, again, sort of leading you into the area of trying to make that head over heart decision, trying to weigh that out. The memories of what happened before being very acute, not wanting to repeat these same things. An interest on your part in, beginning again, having this energy of kind of a rebirth and a new beginning with them, wanting to liberate yourselves from whatever has happened in the past between the both of you. This desire to move on beyond that, but in some way that this is not, this person is withholding something. They are being kind of vague or sort of removed in their emotions. They are not giving as much as you feel that they should or that they could in this circumstance. If this is a situation where it was no contact, there's kind of two sort of scenarios coming up. that kind of that element of a full no contact, where you're sort of seeing them moving forward in other directions, or just kind of remaining single, and that being a contrast to what you have kind of experienced with each other before, and kind of this feeling and this draw to one another. And then this other kind of scenario or circumstance that can resonate with some of you, of kind of like those lines of communication have opened up again, but there's still something that's being held back on. There's kind of like this element of a heart-to-heart conversation that needs to take place that has not taken place yet, a bit of hesitation and guardedness on both of your parts, to really open your heart to this, to open up fully, to entertain and believe that this circumstance can change, and sort of the confusion that this is leaving you with, this hesitation, this desire to move forward, but the words not necessarily being articulated quickly enough or clearly enough that are making that possible. So let's take a look and see what do your guides want you to know? What's some advice about this circumstance? Either of those scenarios, maybe it's some combination of kind of all of these factors, or this can even really tie into where you are finding yourselves in currently, kind of that energy of things kind of being at a close between you, the end of a cycle, things really being cut off. And sort of not necessarily being yet at that point of a new beginning, but maybe something you are feeling or sensing is on the horizon. You're sensing a return of this person. Maybe you have been able to see other things kind of come to an end in their life. Maybe some other circumstances, somebody that they have, broken up with, something that has fallen apart, or something that is starting to kind of collapse or decay in their life. And this is filling you almost with a sense of trepidation or even anticipation that they may come back around in some form or fashion. That can also really tie into kind of those future energies of, again, the circumstance of sort of this no contact, this ending, this very kind of painful or abrupt situation that can then sort of open up to, this reconciliation, starting again. Somebody who, really sees the error of their ways, and is able to create that balance within them, and kind of come forward with that loving energy that you had been hoping for previously, and any kind of confusion you have about any sort of stage of this process or these scenarios that you might find yourselves in. So what do your guides want you to know about this? We've got Lord Shiva, Transcendence. Rise up. Honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. So this is really all about going with the flow of this circumstance. As uncertain as things might be at this point in time, if you're kind of in that boat where you're having to watch from afar, you're left with that sort of that frustration, that pain and that sorrow, seeing this person, maybe having moved off in another direction with a different partner, entertaining, maybe casual connections as opposed to a solid commitment with you. To really flow with that. Feel the emotions that are coming up. As difficult as they may be, they are something which are necessary in some way to your kind of soul growth, that oftentimes we learn lessons and we are unable to unearth our greatest strength, the inner force that lies within us, through these painful experiences, through these circumstances of defeat. That what is being generated within you through this circumstance, this is not meant to defeat you permanently. This is not meant to, be a circumstance that really shuts your heart down to the possibility of love. There's a sense of, there is kind of redemption on the other side of this, whether this is this person in the future kind of seeing the light and coming back around, or if this is an example of something where you're needing to, kind of process and wade your way through these difficulties, this heaviness, in order to be able to unearth something within yourself, to transcend this circumstance, to not allow this circumstance to embitter you, but to allow this circumstance to make you wiser, so that you are able to harness some of your inner power, and move forward with a more loving heart, with a more compassionate heart, love for yourself, and an unwillingness to be broken by this circumstance. In some way, you are meant to kind of rewild yourself as well with this energy of the horse, perhaps to liberate yourself from, maybe watching, maybe observing, looking at this person on social media and just kind of sort of participating in that kind of low vibrational energy where you're almost just punishing yourself by watching whatever it is that they are doing in a material sense, wherever it is that they have chosen to move in terms of another direction, that in some way it's, you're almost just punishing yourself in that sense. You're not meant to keep feeding into that vibration. You're meant to rise beyond this. There is love for you out there, and it may be in the form of this person who gets some kind of epiphany, makes these changes in the future and comes back. But this may also be in the form of somebody else, another heart that is meant to love you, that is able and willing and available, that will see you and recognize your worth, that will not take the love you have to give for granted, somebody who will reciprocate that in kind. Somebody who is just like you with these two horses, these two white horses here, somebody who is operating from kind of that higher self level, somebody who is operating from the light. If this person is really just kind of, entertaining kind of these densities, these lower vibrations, or if this is just, part of their journey to step into that light within themselves. The important thing is that you move forward knowing that, either again, this person will sort of make the changes that are necessary in the time that they need to, or the universe will align you and will provide you with somebody who is a vibrational match for you, somebody who is able to really see and appreciate and recognize what you have to offer and can offer something of a similar nature in return. For those of you where this is somebody who has come back around and maybe you're a little bit kind of hesitant or guarded, not wanting to repeat the same cycle with this person, and just kind of not, or even a new person who has come into your life and you're not really certain if you can trust this, if this is just going to be sort of a repeat of, what you have experienced before, if this is somebody who's just, telling you everything that you want to hear and they're not going to really follow through, if some of these fears are cropping up for you as well. Then this, from your guides, this guidance is really to just, again, the same concept to sort of lean into this, feel these fears, feel that hesitation, that anxiety, and move through it. That you're really being offered the opportunity here for transcendence, that change is here for you. You have the choice to either continue to be defeated, to continue to allow the past to kind of haunt your present and what is possible in the future. Or there's an opportunity here to, really create some healing and some repair in this circumstance or in your life in general. And to really just kind of flow with this, go with the flow, not attach yourself to expectations. As much as possible, detach from timelines or the pace at which something might develop or what may or may not happen, to move very organically with this, to allow your heart to be opened in a very beautiful way to what is, really being presented to you, or at some, kind of imminent point might be presented to you on the horizon. To feel your way through this using your intuition, using that inner kind of guidance, using that kind of compass, knowing that you have the ability to set up boundaries and barriers for anything that feels that it is beyond your comfort zone, and to again just really, with all these birds here, this idea of kind of communication being key here, to really transcend the obstacles that you have faced or that you've been holding within yourself or in this situation through communication, through kind of setting that example for this person, being open in your communication, drawing that line in the sand and inviting them to kind of rise up and to meet you, taking things very much step by step, understanding that change is possible in this circumstance, and it starts first and foremost with that change within yourself, changing and transcending how you are looking at things, how you are looking at kind of everything that has happened in the past in this circumstance with this person or with kind of your love life in general, as the opportunity to again kind of make yourself more compassionate, more loving, more giving, as opposed to allowing difficulties of the past to kind of embitter you and make you sort of close your heart off to love. Okay, and we have the seer. Follow your intuition. So again, another confirmation there from your guides, to really follow your intuition. If this is someone you've had difficulties with in the past, who has come back around, maybe who has reached out with communication, trying to offer you that olive branch, or is really kind of expressing to you that they want to start again, or maybe open the lines of friendship, and you're a little bit skeptical, you're a little bit uncertain, you're remembering what happened the last time around with the two of you. To really follow that inner compass, feel beyond the words that are spoken, and really sense into the energy, the willingness, the openness, and understanding maybe this person is only capable of taking small steps, but small steps can definitely accumulate, and they can lead the two of you in a new direction in terms of what is possible, in terms of transcending the difficulties that you had faced in the past. This can also really talk about if this is something where you've been kind of lingering in that energy of defeat, that pain, that sorrow, and that loss over something that transpired with this person, kind of watching them from afar with the sense of longing, feeling any kind of rejection because maybe they chose to move in another direction or rejected the cup of love that you had to offer, that your intuition might be telling you that it's time to love yourself more, it's time to really work on your self-worth and your value, and to recognize that this person's rejection of you, it has to do with some kind of an inability to access love within them. It has nothing to do with the merit of what you had to offer, what you had to give. Following your intuition about ways to, fill your cup, to kind of pick up the pieces of your life to transcend this circumstance, to not let this ending crush you and defeat you eternally, but use this as an opportunity to feel your way in to some deep healing that needs to occur within you, to create that balance and that union within self, to nurture yourself back to life, back to health, to kind of bring yourself out of this situation in some way. With this idea also of kind of these birds and this letter, it might be very beneficial for you as well to write a letter to this person, air your grievances, all your frustrations, all your hopes, all the deep and profound love that you have for them. And, any kind of feelings of disappointment you might have at how that love was rejected or wasn't received or wasn't reciprocated, wasn't continued to be participated with, and then kind of burning that letter, scattering the ashes, burying the ashes, releasing that as kind of a ritualistic act, this process within yourself of making that declaration. You declare yourself as transcending this. You are closing the door on this cycle of disappointment. You are closing the door on kind of remaining in that energy of defeat with the Ten of Swords. You are making that declaration that from the ashes you shall rise as a stronger, as a more discerning version of yourself. Your guides are really encouraging you to look at this not as kind of this eternal defeat, but as something, this circumstance which has the ability to make you stronger, to make you wiser. Through kind of tangible experience, you now have the wisdom to choose better in the future, to recognize red flags when they arise that maybe you may have kind of ignored about this person in the past. Any kind of a gut feeling that you might have had that something was off, or that something was kind of dissolving or getting ready to fall apart in this situation, that maybe you ignored that. Maybe you chose to just focus on kind of this vision that you had of forever with this person. And then you were caught very off guard when they just kind of abruptly swept things away. You're being encouraged to use this situation as an opportunity to, if they return or the next time you open up into love, to maybe take some time to, not rush in so quickly, take a step back, ask some more questions, do some more digging, trust that intuition, trust that inner guidance and those nudges. You've been through almost the worst of the worst. You've been through that very difficult and painful and destructive cycle. And you are now armed with that personal wisdom to be able to identify kind of repeating patterns, repeating behaviors, reoccurring archetypes in the forms of other romantic partners that might come in, where maybe there is, a lot that is kind of similar to the circumstances that you'd experienced before, and that this can really be this opportunity for you to, make a different choice moving forward, to set better boundaries, to not rush in so quickly, not open your heart so quickly, to set the bar a little bit higher higher for what somebody needs to provide, a kind of consistency to you, communication that needs to be more kind of concise before you are willing to open your heart up, either to this person again or somebody else in the future. That in some way this situation, your guides are wanting you to know that you're being intuitively guided in a particular direction. You're being guided on that journey within, that journey to healing, that journey to love, and to try and see this as not kind of a loss, not a defeat, but as an opportunity to really hone yourself in a particular way, to really, rebuild yourself stronger than you were before, to refine yourself in ways, to raise that standard, raise that bar, raise yourself back up out of this stance of defeat. Okay, and we have the Angel of Glory. I sing praise and glory to the source of all life. So this is really talking about that idea of rebirth, of renewal, of rising up from the ashes of this circumstance. As difficult as this may be, you may need to pull your attention away from watching this person, from just, continuing to kind of inflict yourself with all that disappointment and that sorrow at kind of watching them, observing them kind of move forward in their life in other ways. It's time to breathe life back into yourself, and whatever sort of approach you are taking or that you're participating in with this person, it's just keeping you in that energy of defeat in some way. It's keeping you sort of in that pyre, in those ashes. You just keep burning yourself over and over again. And it's time to rise from this. It's time to see things from a different perspective, to see a different horizon for yourself, to again focus on what can come of this, what sort of wisdom or discernment, how can you kind of use this experience to strengthen yourself, to hone yourself, to become loving to yourself in all the ways that you would wish this person had been, to engage fully on a healing journey, to bring balance to yourself, to bring that apology to yourself that is owed but maybe never came, to again kind of process and release all these unspoken words, this frustration, these feelings, to sing that out, into the world in the form of, maybe this situation becomes some kind of an inspiration. If you were, musically inclined, maybe you're a songwriter or just a writer in general, this circumstance might be, just the inspiration, seeing this as kind of this opportunity, something that could help other people, telling your story and how others might benefit from that, gain some kind of healing. Maybe this is your muse or your inspiration for some kind of an artwork, some kind of a way in which you kind of purge and process these feelings of disappointment, both the extremes of how much you have loved this person and kind of the heights and the nature of that feeling, and kind of the depths of sort of anguish that this connection has kind of driven you into, and sort of everything that fell apart. Seeing this from a new perspective, how this is almost a montage, it's a mosaic that can be created into something very beautiful. You can use this as inspiration to kind of reimagine and rebuild your life in some way. To remake yourself into somebody more compassionate and more loving, not allowing this circumstance to defeat you, not allowing this person to get the best of you, to allow them to just continue forth in their life in whatever direction that they choose to go. If that's, lower vibrational connections, or kind of going back to, repeating cycles with somebody, or just, wanting to kind of wander the world and remain single and sow their royal oats, or whatever it is that they are kind of is their program at this point in time, that you are really being guided and advised to take back control of your life, to breathe life into yourself in some other form or fashion, to not allow this to be the end of your story, the thing that embitters you, the thing that closes you down, closes you off, makes you eternally pessimistic to love, but to understand that this is a teaching tool. This is a fire which can forge you into a more loving, a more empowered version of self. Cord cutting meditations might be very helpful for you as well, to kind of detach from the experience that you've had with this person, calling in Archangel Michael to help you to transcend these difficulties, to cut away from, the density, this heaviness that you've experienced with this person, in order to really rise beyond that. On this Lord Shiva card as well, this is the Hamsa with the kind of eye in his hand there, and also in tandem with Archangel Michael, this is talking about, that you are very much protected. It might, you're safe. It can be very, it can feel very uncomfortable or scary to kind of detach from something you've been focused on for so long, being fixated on this, kind of being accustomed to that discomfort. Change can feel very scary, but you're being guided that you are safe to kind of step beyond that. It's okay to let this go. It's okay to let that pain go. You don't need to carry that anymore. There's a new life that is waiting for you. There is new love that is waiting for you, either in the form of somebody new that can come into your world, or through the process of really investing in yourself, healing yourself, taking your focus off what this person is choosing to do right now in the material world, liberating yourself from that and focusing on kind of stepping into that best version of self. That can also be kind of this energetic or even sort of the literal inspiration to this person for steps that they may need to take within themselves as well, to find what is it that they have been running from. Why have they been kind of keeping love at an arm's distance, or, despite sort of the intimacy and the intensity that the two of you have experienced that was there, the potential that was there. Why did they choose to kind of push this away? Why did they choose to kind of take flight from this connection and move in another direction? Why did they kind of push away this idea of almost wish fulfillment, or this very balanced energy, this soulmate energy that the two of you shared and that you experienced together? That you're allowing them then that time and space to kind of find these things, come to that conclusion very organically on their own. Some may choose to really, endeavor upon that, may come, to see the light and kind of step out of their own darkness and shadow and kind of work through that. Others may make the choice to continue in these cycles, but the important thing is that you really take the lead in your own life. You liberate yourself from this circumstance. And that doesn't even necessarily mean letting this connection go forever. It might just be for now. For now, you are needing to redirect that focus on self, on taking your power back. If this is somebody who, you've gone through sort of this difficulty with, and they are coming back into your world, and you're a little bit skeptical about, is this trustworthy? Has this person really changed? Can I really take this at face value? This can be this confirmation that taking things very slowly is helping the both of you to kind of breathe life back into this. It can be that guidance to, really I'm almost getting the saying of not looking a gift horse in the mouth with these two horses here on this card, that this might be what you've really been hoping for and praying for and wishing for, the return of this person, some kind of a communication, just even like a small olive branch that they have given you. And you might kind of be finding that you are facing sort of this hesitation or this uncertainty from them, but that you're really, your guides are letting you know that there is something genuine about this. This can become something very beautiful. This can be the next step that you've been wanting, that you've been waiting for with this person. But to, almost like this idea of sunrise and how the light kind of gradually sort of spreads across the horizon and the world becomes more bright, to take things very slowly, breathe life into this very slowly, open yourself to the idea of transcendence, the idea of rebirth, the idea of renewal, using your discernment as you are navigating this path and this course with this person, but not closing yourself off to that, to the possibility that the change you have hoped for can be here, using that discernment where, if things feel off to you, if it feels that something is kind of missing or something is lacking, speaking up about that, being very open and direct about that with this person. Again, kind of this idea of sort of, raising the bar and allowing them to kind of rise to meet you at that occasion on that level. Starting off small, starting off slowly, understanding that, a new kind of ability is here to liberate the two of you from the energy that you had been in previously, that some kind of a balancing may have happened in the period of separation, or that what is happening right now has the ability to really balance out what you have experienced previously and what is possible moving forward with this person. Okay, and we also have weave the future golden. So this really talks about this idea of picking up the pieces, rebuilding yourself in a fashion where you are stronger, you are more loving, you are more empowered than you were before. This really brings to mind this idea of kintsugi, which is it's a Japanese art form where broken pottery is kind of stitched or kind of put back together and infused with these veins of gold. And the belief is that the piece is more beautiful for having been broken, and kind of the ways in which that has been reshaped and reformed. A value has been added to it that was not possible prior to those fractures. So your guide's really wanting you to kind of reimagine how you are looking at this circumstance, whether this is somebody returning with that olive branch, with this communication, and kind of that ability that the two of you then have to weave a new future together, to rebuild this connection in a more productive manner, to kind of improve upon what might have been deficits in the situation between the both of you, that this open communication is that gold that will strengthen the connection in time, that's done gradually and meticulously. It's not something which is, all at once put back together. It's something which needs time for that foundation to be laid, the pieces to be put in place, to be fit and fashioned. Things need time to marinate, to digest, to take form, to take shape. But kind of taking things step by step, piece by piece, layer by layer, can really help to create this bright future with you. If this is something where, this has come to this painful ending and you're faced with this kind of decision about continuing to kind of put yourself through that torment of ruminating on what happened with this person, maybe watching them from afar, watching them kind of move off in other directions of their life with other partners, and kind of the misery that is just compounding within you about this circumstance, then again, your guides are really advising you to, shift your focus toward the ways in which you can strengthen yourself, to which you can heal yourself. You're being guided on this kind of internal journey of self-love and self-healing. The guidance here is that, it might not feel like it now in the midst of all this pain and disappointment, but you will come out stronger through this. This opportunity really is a golden opportunity for you to come out wiser, for you to come out more loving and more compassionate, to again take your time to put your pieces back together, to really see, what are things that you, and a vibration you had operated in that, maybe magnetized this person in, or things that were really brought to the surface or triggered through this circumstance. Looking at those as these doorways, these opportunities, wounds within yourself that need to be filled with this gold, that need to be filled with this love, that need to be filled with this compassion. These circumstances, this breaking apart, is an opportunity to rebuild yourself in some manner, to take your power back from these circumstances, to cut the cords of attachment with kind of the density or the negativity, the pain and the loss and the sorrow of what has happened, and to focus your sights on brighter horizons, knowing that as down as you may feel right now, as kind of broken as you may feel right now, this feeling will not last forever. You do have the power and the ability, through calling on your guides, through calling on your angels, through really investing in yourself, to create something of value and worth. The greatest project that you will work on is yourself. And so as much as you might have been investing even just the emotional energy and kind of ruminating over this, feeling sorrow, feeling loss, you're being guided to kind of reinvest that, not focus on what has fallen apart, what is lost and what is gone, what remains, what can you rebuild from this, how can you fashion yourself from these experiences into a better version of who you are. How can these experiences be used, this pain be used, how can you transmute that into a source of power for yourself, into a source of wisdom for yourself, so that you set the bar higher for the next love that wants to come in, or even in terms of what this person is able to energetically then sense and see as necessary in their own life in order to open the door to reconciliation with you in the future. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 2, this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got L, B, H, R I V E W P K T Z G and N. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry, dreamcatchers, and suncatchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the green calcite. So I'm going to start by taking a look at what's going on with them in the 3D right now, their actions or their inactions. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Two of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Ten of Pentacles, earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Knight of Wands, fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Fire Dragon, Gentleman, Bear, and Clouds. So with the Two of Swords, communication could be blocked off between the both of you at this point in time. Somebody who is, not really making their intentions known towards you. If you are, in some kind of a communication with them, they might be just keeping things kind of minimal, a lot of flirtation maybe that's going on, but that it's with the Knight of Wands and also with this fire dragon energy, a lot of chemistry, a lot of passion between the both of you, but there's a sense of not really knowing where that leads beyond just kind of this immediate sort of energy of gratification. A long-term future that you could really see with this person, a lot of stability that they might have in other ways in their life, but that conversation has just not taken place. There's a lot of uncertainty about where does this lead to, a lot of hesitation about if this connection has what it takes to move beyond kind of that lustful stage and evolve into solid and stable and long-term love. That there is a lot of love here, but there's something that's really being kind of blocked off between that sort of manifesting or materializing in a very solid and stable sense. There could be a lot of innuendos and suggestions that are happening here, but that this isn't necessarily being communicated in a material sense, kind of what, again, the intention of that is, where this person sees this connection going in terms of a long-term future. Again, if kind of communication is blocked off between the both of you, then you could really be sort of sensing them energetically, feeling a lot of this kundalini energy kind of flowing between the both of you. You could really be sort of uncertain or unsure kind of what this means, what their intentions for this is. With this idea of gentleman, this could be somebody who is, trying to be respectful, trying to really have boundaries and barriers, somebody who is not allowing themselves to fully kind of open up to this, to surrender to this, somebody who could have a lot of fear as well about losing themselves to kind of the intensity of what they feel for you and feel for this connection, somebody who could have a lot to lose in a material sense, somebody who could have built some kind of an empire for themselves, some kind of stability, but at the same time is, again, not wanting to lose themselves to this connection, not wanting to rush in too quickly out of fear of kind of what else could topple in their life should this connection go south, should things fall apart in this connection. Somebody who may have experienced that in situations of the past and is very guarded, is very protective with this energy of the bear here over what they have built in a material sense. Somebody who might even just be overly focusing on that, on work, on finances, on career, on things that are, tangible, that they can touch, that they can see, and that they can feel, that make kind of this logical sense to them. And this connection with this idea of clouds and this notion of sort of shifting and the intensity of what is experienced between the both of you. Again, kind of this intense sort of kundalini energy, this energy of awakening that has taken place even just from the moment you two met each other, that something really activated within the both of you. That this person is being very hesitant, very closed off to that, very blinded to that, kind of this next level love, this almost divinely guided, this divinely orchestrated kind of partnership, this soulmate energy, this twin flame energy, this twin soul energy. But they are instead choosing to ignore that, or to not give any indication that they are seeing the signs that they are getting, that they are recognizing maybe some synchronicities that are happening, that this connection might be outside of the bounds of what they had ordinarily considered as kind of their path in life and love, the type of partner they were looking for, that they were wanting to have. Somebody who's very closed off to that, is not allowing themselves to indulge in this. Somebody who is trying to kind of keep some composure with the gentleman card, something that they've established, some kind of maybe they're really concerned about appearances, how this would look, how this connection would fit into their world. They don't understand how that would be possible. There's almost this removed stance, this stoicism that they are displaying to you at this point in time, which could be leading to a lot of frustrations, this hesitation that this person has. They're reaching for you energetically. You two are very much in proximity to one another, but they just won't seize that cup. They just won't act upon this. A lot that kind of dwells and lingers very thick in the communication or in the dynamic between the both of you, or even at kind of a distance from, in this element of kind of separation, a lot of telepathy, a lot of energetic exchange between the both of you, that they are just not making a move towards. They are almost being kind of too cautious. There's a little much too propriety that is happening here. Again, the nature of this being outside of the realm or dynamic of what they'd envisioned for themselves. Somebody who may have created a life for themselves in other ways. And this connection has really come very unexpectedly. This is now shifting kind of both of your ideas about the nature of partnerships. It's inviting you to kind of reimagine your lives as you have built them. But this person being very closed off to that, very resistant to that, almost just giving kind of the bare minimum, or kind of remaining sort of at the outskirts, not seizing that cup, not offering their cup fully, not willing to explore that cup of love that you have to offer, and keeping their heart very close to them, very kind of closed off. Somebody who's, enticed, is interested, they're moving towards you, they're, expressing some kind of an interest, but they have blocked themselves off from what is possible, from what is able to be, ignited, this kind of, this potential of a new future, a reimagined future, a new experience in the material world of love, of this intensity, of this connection, this very visceral and carnal energy between the both of you. Something that is, satisfying at the soul level, and also very physically and emotionally and spiritually very satisfying. But they're closed off to that. They're not communicating that. They're not speaking that. So you're left in kind of these two worlds here, where what you're feeling energetically versus what is being shown, what is being given. A connection that is very, it's different. It's something which, flows at a spiritual level, and yet what is being shown it's almost somebody that's trying to just be very composed, somebody who is trying to, be on their best behavior, somebody who is giving very minimally, trying to keep things in just kind of this very logical sort of state, only giving a little, holding themselves back, blocking off their energy, and kind of the confusion that that you are faced with what is demonstrated versus what is being felt by this person, not knowing what is trustworthy, what is real, what is genuine. Kind of this liminal space that you find yourself in, between the future and the potential of what can really develop out of this. Kind of this idea with the bear as well, what's been in hibernation, what has kind of been the narrative that has kind of been running beneath the scenes, beneath the, that kind of undercurrent of what is happening between the both of you, or what has happened in the past, that this is somehow in slumber. This is somehow, this is an unawakened potential here. This is something which it kind of signifies a rebirth in some way. It signifies a next level love, a new experience in love, redemption in love somehow, maybe even an experience with this person in the past where they gave very minimally. Things kind of trickled to a halt and were blocked off, and this sense of rebirth that wants to happen, but that for whatever reason is kind of impeded from occurring at this point in time. Somebody who's not speaking what is known between the both of you as this very, again, real and tangible and visceral kind of energy exchange, this flow between you. This timeline that you were both being invited to kind of move on to, but this person really holding that back, giving the bare minimum, or in the past, just trying to keep things at a very surface level, at a platonic level, really holding themselves back from fully opening up. And again, this sort of confusion, this not knowing where things stand, not knowing what can develop out of this, if this is all in your imagination, or if this is felt very mutually with this person. And if so, why are they holding back? Why are they being hesitant and guarded, and not, expressing that truth of what really holds kind of this intensity, the kind of the nature of this, wanting to really, this connection that really wants to fire up, that really wants to breathe to life a new kind of version of both of your worlds, something that is very life-changing, something that has the potential to be very empowering. Something that, again, a lot of Kundalini energy here, a lot of that being exchanged remotely between the both of you, a sense of kind of that separation between whatever is being shown, if this is someone you have kind of contact with, minimal contact with, or full no communication with, and kind of this idea of like the trickle, or just this kind of this air of propriety of trying to be very almost business-like about things, versus what is kind of running beneath the scenes, this undercurrent, and how different those two energies are, and kind of this impasse, this crossroads that you both find yourselves at, where this person is needing to take some kind of action, needing to speak some truth, let that guard down, provide you with some kind of a clarity about what the both of you know and feel kind of is that undercurrent in this situation. So get some guidance from your guides about this situation now, group 3. Okay, and we have Krishna, devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. So your guides want you to know that what you are feeling and sensing, despite what is being demonstrated by this person, is real. There is a very tangible bond between the both of you. There is this exchange of Kundalini energy felt in real time between the both of you. This person recognizes and sees this connection, sees you as this almost very divine sort of dynamic between the both of you, this soul connection, this spiritual bond that the two of you share, that this is next level, this is otherworldly, this is something that they hold in very high regard. And you're being guided to kind of move into this space of not looking at things as black and white, not looking at things as either or, but moving into this space of and, where both of these realities exist. As difficult as that can be to kind of straddle that space, the 3D and the 5D, both are very valid. That this energy and this intensity that is building between the both of you, either in complete separation, or if this is somebody that you have contact with, and the time you are spending together, whether that's just energetically or in a physical sense, it is building the momentum. The fire is building within this person. This impasse, this blockage cannot last forever. They are seeing the signs. They are feeling this. They are exploring this. There are layers that are becoming more and more apparent to this person with this kind of this mandala in the background here, that the more that you touch upon each other energetically, whether it is just energetically or even in those energetic exchanges in conjunction with your 3D exchanges, it is bringing them deeper and deeper to that truth of who you are to them, of who they are, of this divinity that resides within them, that has been awakened and is being awakened and is being kind of infused, the way this person is being activated, brought into some kind of an evolution that might also be taking place within them. This could be somebody that's going through a spiritual awakening, and they're needing to keep these kind of barriers up to maintain some kind of stability in their 3D sense, to not totally have everything fall apart while this kind of metamorphosis is taking place within them. Someone who's doing the best that they can to kind of keep order or a semblance of order in their life, that there is so much happening beneath the surface. They are so compelled to this kind of next step towards you, but it's a process that they are needing to evolve into. They are needing to kind of move through these layers of self, move through these layers where different parts of them are awakened or come online, these changes that take place, these activations that take place, this spiritual self that is opening up for this person. This could be somebody who is very, practical, very grounded, very logically minded. They were not used to really touching on their spiritual self, or if they had, it was only at a very kind of at a surface level. Something about this dynamic, you have really awakened one another. You've really activated something within one another. The Kundalini serpent is uncoiling itself from the base of this person's spine and yours. And it's really that Kundalini energy is rising. This is mutually experienced between the both of you. It's a metamorphosis which has so much more significance than just what is happening in this connection right now. So, and it has more significance for the two of you as individuals in terms of your lives, in terms of the evolution of your soul, than again, what is just happening in this 3D circumstance. So, your guides are really encouraging you to, again, open yourself up to the realm of honoring what is being shown or what is being withheld in the 3D sense by this person. Understanding and trusting. A lot of that is motivated by this powerful transformation that is happening within them, in that internal world, in their worldview, in the life they have created for themselves, in the relationships that they have, platonic, romantic, friendship, what they do for work, how they have constructed their day-to-day life, what they have imagined for themselves, and the future that they are building toward. All of that is shifting. All of that is being reimagined. Their eyes are being opened to a wider perspective of who they are and what is possible for themselves, what resonates for them, what they want moving forward, their own potential, their own capability, spiritual gifts that are activating for them, and how this is really changing how they move through the world, how they touch the world, how they touch those around them. And so, just to again hold that knowing, hold that space, hold the line for this person. Allow yourself to surrender into the transformations that are happening within you. Allow this person to be transformed from the inside out. This blockage, this impasse, it is here, it is in place for a reason. The changes that need to take place internally must happen first before changes can be experienced on the outside. This is definitely a situation of as within, so without. That in time, things will develop, things will transform. This is not the energy that you will continue to remain stuck in forever. Whether you've been stuck in this cycle with this person for a while, something has really shifted. Something is really being infused and transformed. And the more you lean into your own personal transformation, the more that this is energetically felt by this person. It encourages them from the soul level to also lean in a space of trust and a space of surrender, looking at this situation from a long-term perspective, the long game with that 10 of Pentacles here, trying as much as possible to detach from what is happening in an immediate sense, understanding the greater ramifications for what has been activated within the two of you. If you consider this person to be a twin flame, a twin soul, a soulmate, a past life soul connection, that your relationship, it transcends the boundaries of this lifetime. The two of you coming into proximity, activating one another very unintentionally and yet very powerfully in this lifetime. It has so much more to do. It has such greater implications than just whatever the end result is with the two of you, whatever that future is with you in this 3D sense, that there's some kind of soul growth that is needing to take place here. And so your guides are really just wanting you to widen your lens, honor what is happening in the 3D, but not make that your exclusive focus. Try to go within and to see that these transformations that are happening, it is not meant to just put you in a place of discomfort, almost something like the forbidden fruit, that which is out of reach, having this kind of energy of the discrepancy between what is shown and what is felt, taking this wider lens at this period you find yourselves in. It's a period of alchemy. There's something being awakened within both of you. It is meant to serve you and enhance you as individuals, which then creates the potential of an enhancement of what you're experiencing in the 3D sense, and your understanding even of love in general. Okay, and we have the Harlequin. True feelings are masked. So your guides are confirming for you that whatever is being shown by this person is an illusion, that there are feelings that run so much deeper than what is being said, that this person is needing to keep this mask on. They're needing to kind of keep some barriers up, some blockages up. They're needing to kind of keep things at a distance because of this intensity, this fire within them that has been awakened. Transformations that are taking place within, masks that are kind of falling away, or not even masks. It feels more like versions of themselves in which they had moved through the world that don't resonate with what is being cultivated within them, with who they are becoming, with who they are growing into, and who they are being awakened into. That in time, these masks will burn away, these things will fall away, all will be revealed in time. That this is a very necessary period for the two of you to have this kind of distance, so these internal and personal transformations can take place, so that the two of you can develop through this energy exchange, through this Kundalini energy, through this activation, through what has been touched on and awoken within both of your souls, to really bring you into that next vibration, that higher version of self. That it's necessary to have this veil between the both of you. It's necessary to have things at just kind of this, things being very business-like, things being very measured, or just being at a trickle at this point in time. That is not the true indication of all this person feels for you and all they want to express and all that is going on, but it's very necessary at this point in time. It's what they must do in order to kind of move through these transitions to what is changing within them, so that what is on the outside can change. If this is a full no contact situation, again, this period of no contact is very necessary for the changes, the alchemy that is taking place within the two of you at the soul level, things that are being awoken within the two of you and are wanting to really come forth. This might be spiritual gifts. This could just be at a vibrational level, how you move through the world. You may find other relationships, what you are doing for a living, your lifestyle, where you are living, the goals you're working towards, the dreams you're working towards, all of that really shifting and changing. And so kind of this, again, this period of barrier is very necessary. It's something that you're being guided to really trust in this. Don't believe completely in what it is that you're being shown, what is being demonstrated. Hold space within you again for that stance of that the mask is very real. What exists behind that mask is just as real, if not more genuine, than what you are being shown at this point in time, than what is being displayed. See beyond that, feel beyond that, sense and know. The intensity of what you are experiencing is very mutually felt between the both of you. You are being transformed within so that you then have the potential as individuals to capitalize on and to experience, to touch upon all that is possible in this connection in a way that is very tangible and long lasting. It almost feels that if true feelings were revealed at this point in time, if the two of you, the communication was unblocked or something was expressed or you both, dove into the situation, it almost feels that it would be too hot to handle. It would be too much, too intense for the two of you to maintain in a long-term sense. This almost feels like masks and barriers in the form of divine protection as you are both kind of raising your own vibration as things are really transforming within yourselves and within your lives to create the proper conditions internally and externally for this love to really blossom and thrive. That in time these things will be revealed, but that now is the time for preparation. This is that winter stage, that hibernation where you do that work within, that transformation happens within those activations and that awakening within, so that you awaken a greater capacity to experience love within yourself, to become that vibration of love, that it is infused in all that you do. It flows through you and all of your interactions. And at that point in time, when you have reached that, when you have maintained that, when you can hold that fire, when you become that fire, then it is time for, the two of you to really combine forces in a more tangible and practical and physical and visceral way. Then it is time for those masks to come off, those conversations to happen, those declarations to happen. Then that cup of love can be exchanged between the both of you. This connection really having the potential of something that can be very life-changing for the both of you, something that can be, create a lot of impact to the world around you, whether this is, some kind of joint work or collaboration or endeavor that the two of you do together, or whether this is just through the experience and indulging in this love and really making this love known, breathing life into this, and the vibration that you both hold then as individuals on that level and as a couple. The ways in which this touches the world around you, inspires things, activates things, awakens things even very unconsciously in those around you. This is a very necessary period of preparation to be able to harness that, to be able to hold that energy, to hold that light, to become that light and spread that out. Okay, and we have the angel of being. My soul rests in the truth that my being is eternal. So another confirmation there from your guides about kind of the long game in this circumstance, that the two of you are connected at a deep soul level, that this love story, it transcends this lifetime and so many lifetimes. You have come back into one another's experience in this incarnation for the purposes of activating one another, for really doing that internal work first and foremost to, kind of shine and remove the tarnish from each of your cups of love, from the ways in which you were mishandled by others in the past. Your love was taken for granted. You took yourself for granted. You dimmed your light. In some way you are meant to really enhance and be activated. To be very comfortable in your authenticity, knowing that you are enough just as you are, stepping more into your purpose, into your truth, into your power. And from that place, you have something of value to offer to one another. You can really make the most of this. You can step into that next level love, that next level experience that is possible with one another. That wherever things are right now in this connection, whether this is full no contact or just something where it feels very like this person's holding back, that there's so much that's not being expressed. This is not the end of the story. This is not where things end with you. that you're both, again, in this process of kind of stepping into that higher divinity within yourselves in order to be able to really make manifest in a physical sense in the material world this very divine love connection that exists between you. And also with all of this, these two references to truth and trust, this is also your guides, confirming for you that this is true love. This is true. What you are feeling and what you are sensing beyond what is being shown, it is valid. If you needed that confirmation, if you've been doubting yourself, if you've been questioning yourself, again, moving into that space of and, where what you are being shown, what is being displayed is valid, is real, but there is a deeper truth here that is unspoken. It's that undercurrent, what you suspect this person feels, what you are feeling, what you are experiencing, visions you may have of the future with this person, or who you consider themselves to be in relation to yourself, a twin soul dynamic, a soulmate, a past life soulmate, a twin soul, that this is true, this is valid, this is what this connection is. This is who this person is to you, and to trust in that. Doubt is a very natural and kind of, it's a human emotion. It is very necessary. It creates that point of contrast for trust. But if you've been entertaining doubt, if you've been questioning, this is your confirmation to move into that spectrum of trust. This is that confirmation that this is what this connection is. This is the nature of this bond, but also trust in the process and the stage that you find yourselves in this connection, because again, it's necessary for the two of you stepping into greater authenticity within self in order to really actualize the greatest potential of what is possible in this circumstance with this person. Okay, and we have the Book of Changes. So this really ties in for me with kind of this idea of the Akashic records, the two of you, really having a blueprint with each other. You have been part of each other's stories across many lifetimes. You have incarnated many times together. This is not the first time you have known one another. This is not where your story ends with this person, whatever this current energy is, whatever these current circumstances you find yourselves in. Change will happen. You are both changing within yourselves. You are being changed by this dynamic, even if this is full no contact. There is energy that is being exchanged between the both of you remotely and from the higher self level that is creating powerful change within yourselves. You're stepping into a place internally of greater harmony within self. The period of kind of distance, if it's full no contact, or even if it's just kind of things are sort of at the surface level, very platonic, a lot of suggestion, but not a lot being declared as far as deeper feelings, that this is all something which in time will change. This is something which, try to kind of harmonize and work with and enjoy the circumstances that you have together at this point in time, because there's a greater harmony that will unfold from that. You're each being calibrated internally, almost like an instrument that is being tuned through this dynamic, through this exchange, even with what is not being said, those undercurrents, that very powerful and visceral energy that flows between the both of you. It's tuning each of you internally into that place of authenticity, into that place of being kind of that perfect instrument to sort of bring down divine energy and allow that to flow out into the world, to raise the vibration of the world around you as you raise your vibration within yourself. And that through this process, through this stage that you find yourselves in, it is preparing the two of you to be able to create, harmony of kind of a symphony of love between you in a material sense further down the road. So, just kind of taking things as they are, step by step, trusting in that space of the and, what you're being shown and what you feel, knowing that this is for a larger purpose, that there's more to this story, that this is not where things end between you. This is not where things will remain. It's a very necessary period of time of kind of having this distance or this veil, maybe literally, or, you know, just in terms of some kind of boundaries or barriers, but that in time this veil will be removed. You will transcend beyond this. This circumstance will change. And that the next chapter in your very beautiful and very eternal, you know, love story that has transcended death, it has transcended lifetimes. You have found one another again in this lifetime. Your souls have been magnetized towards each other, and that this is almost the next chapter in that eternal kind of story that the two of you have written with each other. This dance you have done across time and space and across eons, and so flowing with that, understanding that there are times to really sort of follow and flow with that, and a time will come where this person will take the lead. These masks will be kind of discarded, and you know, spirit also really leaning into that and trusting that spirit is leading you both internally on these journeys within yourselves, is kind of choreographing these changes that are taking place in order to really lead the two of you to that greater truth and authenticity within, so that when kind of the masks come down and these feelings are revealed and kind of acted upon in a more definite way, in a more concise and direct manner, that it has the ability to produce something very beautiful and very harmonious that brings a lot of peace and satisfaction to the two of you, and also helps to kind of spread that light out into the world around you. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 3, this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got X, Y, F, J, T, H, A, K, N, C, S, R, Z, W, O, and V. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry, dreamcatchers, and suncatchers in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.